Okay, harvest time. This is being a little difficult because I've only got the one frame to do, or not the one frame, the one super to do. So wasn't a lot of point in getting the extracting equipment, which makes this go better. So I'm using gravity, which, as I'm finding out, is very, very slow in this particular process. Basically, I had 8 frames. 2 of the frames from the super only had a little bit of honey capped, so I didn't want to risk contaminating the harvested honey with honey that wasn't ripe yet. So I let the bees go ahead and reclaim that, just set them outside in front of the hive, and they cleaned up very nicely. I got 8 frames, and I converted my utility closet into an extracting room, which basically gives me a place to keep it away from the cats. Nobody wants cat hair in their honey. And also a place where I could increase the temperature without heating up the whole house, and keep it away from flying insects and such, which the smell of warm honey outside would have every wasp, bee, ant in the county coming by. So I've taken the utility closet here and put in a space heater, a little oil heater there. Currently we are running at 100 degrees and 28% humidity. Then I've set up a tub which is collecting the honey, and basically I'm uncapping the honey comb and letting it drip into the tub. Now this is going very, very slowly, but I'm going to show you the process here. Okay, so this is this is the uncapping tool. Oh, too close, can't focus. It's basically a sharp pointed rake. Got frame of honey here. Now I'm tipping it upside down because upside down relative to the way it was in the hive, because honeybees actually orient their the cells slightly at an up angle, so that when it's in the hive, the honey actually, gravity keeps the honey in the cell. I'm flipping it upside down so that gravity can do a better job of helping me get the honey out. Now the rake, the way I've seen it described as being used, is literally just to take it and scrape it across the cells. I did that in the first couple of frames, and that was a problem because what it ended up doing was actually crushing the cells, and it was just a big mess. So what I've found is that if I stick it in and flick it, basically just going barely below the surface, I can make those caps pop off and hopefully leave a fairly intact cell wall so that the honey has less resistance to running out. If I had a centrifuge extractor, this wouldn't be an issue, because then you would just get the caps off and spin it. But I don't have one of those, and they're very expensive. Maybe next year. Just didn't have enough honey to bother with something that pricey this time around. Maybe next year I'll find somebody who has one that I can borrow. So what you'll see here as I get these uncapped, the gravity will start to pull the honey out, and it'll start dripping off the top bar into my collection bin. Okay, so here's the comb after I've uncapped it. Let's see if this will zoom in closely enough. Yeah. You can see the honey dripping off the top bar there. Remember, I have these upside down. This is going to take a while. I'm not sure why, but the whole gravity drain thing didn't work. I talked to a few people, and it seems like it should have been very simple, but for whatever reason it was taking inordinate amount of time. These frames actually I had sitting for 5 hours or more, and they still hadn't drained. So I ended up resorting to basically scraping the wax completely out of the frames. As you can see, unfortunately I forgot to videotape myself doing that.
But basically what I did was I just used the scraping tool, and quite literally with it standing on end, just drug it down and pulled all the wax off. All that's left there is the foundation, that initial sheet of wax. You can actually see the wires running through it. They give it extra support. And then in the bucket down below, we've got all the collected honey and wax. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up those frames a little bit yet. And, which is very interesting what's going on. And I will videotape then the straining process. So here's 3 frames worth of honey and wax. Can't really tell how much volume it is because of the container it's in. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to transfer it over through a sieve. Transfer it over to the bucket here. Now the bucket actually has 5 frames worth of honey already in it because of what I did yesterday. So this is a nylon mesh sieve. Just has some elastic so it can go around the bucket. This is going to help strain out the wax, pour it in. I'm kind of watching to make sure that my sieve doesn't get too heavy and fall in the bucket. Actually amazing how easily this stuff separates out from the wax. Should have been somewhere near about a gallon in here. I'm hoping to have about 2 gallons when we're done. It's amazing how much there really is. It doesn't look like that much, but a coating of honey is fairly thick. If I decide to make candles or something like that. Alright, let's start squeezing this. Kind of interesting to have your hands around a big glob of honey. Hopefully nobody out there that's getting some of this honey for Christmas is all grossed out right now. I did wash. The little bears here. And filling's pretty simple. It's just a little spigot on my pail here. Just open it up and let it run. Each one of these little guys holds 8 ounces. Since I have 2 gallons, I should be able to make 32 plus or minus. And there you go, 8 ounces of Trever, Wisconsin honey. And there's the final product. About 35 little 8-ounce bears of honey after a year's worth of work for the 2 colonies. A couple days on my part to extract it. And there's even a pint left over for me.